You know how I feel. 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 You know how I feel.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. Oh. Now, here I am. Hey everybody, Hooper time. Approximately. You guys are smart asses. Oh, let me get you up there, Ann. Is it on?
Am I here? Here I am.
There you go. Yeah, I use that angle because sometimes Tara stretches and they can't see her if I don't.
This is a good one. This is gets everything in frame. I can just, Tasmanian devil around the way I like to.
There we go. That's a little bit better.
Hope everybody's having a great Saturday. We've got a lot of sun here. Beautiful Saturday.
Yeah, it's gorgeous here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit chilly, but it's about to be up into the 60s, which I guess is like the upper 10s in Canada.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Golly Moses.
So I'm looking forward to that. Let me fix this once and for all here.
I love being on the rug. If y'all have not had the experience at home of just putting down a rug to stretch and to hoop on sometimes, that's not too fuzzy, that can be more or less smooth. It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you have if you get foot problems or ankle problems, or you start to feel like you've got Hooper's hip or whatever.
Totally.
Like footwear and or softer surface to hoop on, taking a break with that or just move into that in general can be really helpful. Yeah, beautiful
Take
fall.
Take the gentle approach, yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're starting on time more or less. For me, it's pretty good. I've got a new. Oh, I forgot to do my
timer.
Yeah.
A new tradition.
Yeah.
A new HoopPath tradition.
There we go.
I've seen them all.
Yeah. So anyway, I want to jump into class as fast as possible. So I sort of prodded Ann a little bit to see what she would be like. I knew she was going to be coming and what she might want to work on, and we thought about angle hooping and core hooping, and we haven't done a angle hoop class in a while, so I thought it would be welcome JT if you're still here.
Hey.
Or you can for those of you that don't know this, I generally try to put an HD version of the class up so the sound's better, the image is better, you can actually see how it's supposed to look, and that goes up about 12 hours after class. The last Tuesday class, Tara taught the warm-up and had a good response, and we'll definitely try to do that again. The sound wasn't that great on her mic, and it was because, and I don't think my mic sounded super great either, so I got lost in editing trying to make that better, and I will post that class up because I thought it was a good one and I wanted to see it in HD, but that's why it's not up yet. All right, so 1 second. Okay, so let's talk about what this class is going to be. This is going to be more of a tech teaching type class, and we're going to be working on core flow. If you have any designs on using hooping to get into better shape, I don't talk a lot about it, but like fat burning or cardio or any of those things, core hooping is probably the quickest way to get there. It requires pretty much every muscle in your body. If you do it, I think, correctly. And it can really help get you into better physical shape, and of course that equals better mental shape. So today's class, Ann's going to be interjecting maybe between some of the songs with any insights, but for the most part I'll be doing most of the talking today. And I've got some cool tunes to play, and I think we're pretty much ready. If you're a beginner or one thing I want to say, one thing that hurts people's core journey is sort of the initial frustration of trying to get like the waist and then the shoulders or the legs or any angles. And a concept I'd like to introduce to you, if you don't know it already, is the idea of like a learning rhythm or a teaching rhythm. That like there are rhythms that can be simply broken down, and then once you get them, then you can advance them. And using a big hoop can really help you learn the sort of learning rhythm. So if you have a big hoop, or if you struggle with core hooping or anything like that, don't fall into any sort of trap that you have to go back to a remedial size hoop. Go into that. Literally, like a couple of minutes of that hoop can teach you how to do it in the same class with your small hoop. So just having a big hoop is a lot more than just a piece of nostalgia leaning against the wall. It can really help you find that learning rhythm. All right, we're at 3 minutes. That's good. Let's.
And I brought my bigger hoop for this very reason, and I endorse this message heartily.
Okay. Okay, I love it when you guys say hello to each other. Let's pull up a Sway song. We will be having class on Tuesday night. Oh, while iTunes is boosting up, I am going to do another Zoom class. It's going to be invite only. If you would like to be a part of it, send me your email. Don't do it here online on the chat because it'll go out to the public, but most of you are connected with me on social media. If you're not, we can, and send me your email, and then for everybody that's been watching the stream, the Zoom will be free for you forever. But for people joining later, just to keep bots and other assholes away, I'm going to charge $10 lifetime fee, and then you can come to every Zoom class. But that's just to keep trolls out. So but everybody that's been watching the stream, you're grandfathered in, as it were. Okay, and then we'll try to do the Zoom class. We'll probably do it on a Saturday. That seems to be when we get the most viewers, or maybe a Tuesday. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Know why this is always so bad. My iTunes just goes weird. Man. Okay. Well, this is weird. All right, let's just try this. Oh. Okay, here we go. Audible breath in. Audible breath in. Today, as we start off in Sway, I want to provide a runway rather than a landing pad. And today, that runway sets you off in the direction of full body awareness. The type of awareness I'm talking about, that I'm pointing us to, is kind of like turning a light on in a room. And your awareness is unbound by the laws of nature, so it can bounce quickly. If you speak English well enough and I say right hand, right hand, right hand, your awareness moves without you even trying to your right hand. If I say left hand, then as you move, stretch, hoop, your awareness moves to your left hand. Audible breath in. And to take off on this runway, I want at your own pace and with your own direction to let your awareness move through your body. To help get it there, you can call it to yourself in your mind. You can say, right knee, right knee. Audible breath in. Open, open. Now I invite you to bring in touch to your warm-up. I can rub my hands together or rub my hand along my arm. And everywhere I move that touch, I wake up that body part. I wake up that space. I wake up that skin, I wake up the muscles beneath it. The muscles wake up the skeleton. We're going to be using our legs a lot today. So I can bring my palms and onto my legs and give myself a type of massage or a waking up rhythm, whatever feels good to me. Audible breath in. We're also going to be using a lot of twisting today, or at least an awareness of it. Twisting at the waist, at the shoulders. Separating the two sides of the body. If you feel dominated by your dominant hand and side of your body, then bring your awareness into that non-dominant side. Audible breath in. Okay. All right. How you feeling, Ann?
Great.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I had a very amazing. Oh, there it is. Huh. Now I know where the camera is, sort of. So one of the things I wanted to say about, I love that touch exercise. I love that warm up. I love to do that tracing of the body. I feel like it can teach us a lot about just our body's movement in space. I've always experienced that way. But then we were talking about the rug earlier, but if you have a rug, it can be a great thing also to do the touch while in contact with the floor, kind of floor, moving with the floor a la Brecken. and creating more points of contact. And then I just also wanted to point up what Bax said about feeling into the opposite side, whatever the non-dominant side, because that is so much the key to angle hooping on the core, and so that awareness, I think, is something that'll bring a lot to the angle hooping. Thanks, Bax.
Of course. All right, let's get started. We're going to kind of move all over the place here. All right, I think we're just going to feature Chamberlain because the music's not going to be quite so important. So grab that core hoop that we talked about. I'm not sure this is the song I want, so we're definitely going to be listening to Chamberlain, but I'm not sure if this is the one I really want to listen to right now, but we'll see. Okay, so we're gonna start with the super basics here. All right, oops. This happens right when I want to start. Okay, this is cool. Okay, here we are. So we're going to start with the basics. So let me know if the mic is loud enough. It sounds like maybe the music's a little too loud. The music's important, but it's not so important today. So anyway, we're going to start with the basics. Let me know if my mic needs to be turned up more. First of all, this is the current. Once you establish a movement around the body, this is called a current. You have a first current and a second current. Your first current is the first current you ever learned. Your second current would be the other way. In the HoopPath, we explore both currents, and if you're a beginner, the best sort of little trick you can do is, as you're learning core hooping, every time the hoop drops, go the other way. People who have done that, like who have started as like total beginners with me and maintain that, they get better quicker at that second current. It's harder if you've never tried second current and you're a total badass and you go to then try it. So that if you're a beginner, what is moving the current is what we call the two trees of you. There are two vertical poles of push that are moving up and down, or that run up and down your body. My right wrist to my right toes, that is one tree, left tree, right? And for the kind of core hooping that we're doing, you might not realize it, but you tend to move only one of those two trees. And so in this class, we're exploring separating the two trees. Now, there's easy ways to start separating them to make sure that they're not locked in together. One way to do that is to take steps, even just like a step left or a step right, or changing your feet. That can break up the two trees. Once you know the feeling of separating the two trees, I can stay rooted like Anne's doing and still explore one tree at a time. What's that? Yeah, and is also... Oops, I got the music on the wrong side. Oh. Okay, things are a little goofy, I see. It's kind of bouncing around. Okay. Alright, so hopefully I won't get lost trying to pull this maneuver off here. But I'm going to... Yep, cool, this is good. Okay. All right. Now, Anne was already doing this. So once you can establish the waist at all, or maybe even before, it can be helpful to learn to move your hands. We've been talking a lot about this lately. The more movement I generate with my hands, the more help it gives to my hoop. And the more help that my body, the more efficient I am with my push, the easier it is for me to hoop to music about this pace.
Say the words too late. Say the words too late. From what I've seen, from what I've seen.
Core hooping to slow music or slower tempos can kind of be difficult. If you are looking into fitness, I can guarantee, I can testify to this, that one cool way to like tone your arms and get stronger, maybe even work on your posture some, is to raise your hands like higher than you would think. I used to ask students in my classes to raise their hands all the way up, and they would hold them literally about this high. Like to them, they felt like they were holding them high. And so when no one's around, it doesn't matter how you look while doing it, you can explore just keeping your hands really high. And your arms will fatigue, and that's cool.
From what I've seen, choose to be safe. Say the words too late.
Now I am moving my hands right now. In the myth, the hands are referred to as birds. The body is two trees. And so if I'm moving my hands and I'm moving my feet, I am doing something called two bird, two tree. I'm not a super athlete, but my heart rate is up right now, and I'm in cardio right now. What helps the hoop go around, the basics of it, are if you push into the hoop, that creates speed on the hoop. That's really what it is. And so it's like the hoop is rolling around you in a circle, but if you push a corner into the hoop, like from the inside, you push into the hoop, corners create speed. If you're really struggling, like getting the hoop rhythm, you can put one foot in front of the other, rock step it, and the two corners you're creating are going to be somewhere around here.
We're not so different, baby. We're not so different, baby.
So my cardio's up right now. I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to stop the hoop, and I'm going to go into my second current.
Been walking for a while in my new shoes. Little better every day without you.
Now when the song is really slow, I can create corners by taking big steps if I have the room. Like Anne's over there taking a lot of steps right now. And every step I take is a corner as I'm pushing. Again, you're imagining that the path of contact is a circle, it's a rubber band or something, and you're pushing into that rubber band from the inside, so you're kind of creating.
It may not be the end, but pushes come to shove. I'll be there, and when you need me, oh you need me, I'll be.
That is our second current. Do you have any thoughts before I move this on?
Thank you, Bax. One thing I was thinking was a lot about this inner geometry to your steps within the hoop while core hooping. And, you know, if you've taken my class on shoulder hooping, kind of horizontal shoulder hooping, I talk a lot about the triangle within the circle. And then when we go, you know, what's different about angles is that we stop being able to turn at that pace. Like we can use the inner geometry, or rather the inner geometry changes when we go into the angle. So I think that's something we can carry into our angle hooping today, is that idea of the inner geometry and the balance there. And Bax was, you know, talking about the four corners and thinking about, because you can choose different shapes actually.
So this is, we're going to start out with angle hooping by getting there. Well, I'll show you two different ways. I'm going to start with what I think is the hardest way, but not the impossible way. And the reason I'm going to start with the hardest one is that I think that it can really help. If you get this early, then you'll speed up. You won't so I'll show you the other way next, but this is the hard way. So I'm going to root instead of dipping or jumping. Well, I can jump, I guess, but I'm going to root. and I'm going to try to move the hoop into earth angle. So I'm going to visualize what we call lake. I'm in lake right now. Like you can imagine, I'm in a body of water that's a lake, right? But I want to create an angle. So I need to push, that's going down. So I need to push down with my day side and push up, and this is what's missing for some people. I need to push up with my night. But instead of like pushing into our heels and making our legs go straight and feel awkward, we're gonna, like we did last class, we're gonna shift our weight to the front of our feet, and then it's just a slight bounce, and then I'm gonna lean down over the hoop. If that is too rough for you, you can just stop the hoop and just try to just start it that way. Now here's something that will help you. So what happens a lot when I used to teach hoop is that people would, we'd do the two birds, we'd do the two trees, people would be moving their arms like crazy, and then the moment I would say earth, 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 earth to get them into earth, their arms would go right back into like angle T-Rexing basically. If I don't do that and I just let my, hands fall free, and I can just bring a little bit of animation to them, right? And that animation winds up helping you. And then there's a term, kind of a slang that we used to use in HoopPath called putting it on wheels. Of course, it's in everybody's parlance, but in HoopPath, putting it on wheels meant that you took that rhythm. Once you had an angle, you step forward with it or step back with it. Tightening your abs can help.
And if I can just say here that idea of the four corners that Bax was talking about really helps here when you just start thinking about that inner geometry as being, it could be a square or maybe more like a trapezoid. But you're thinking about distributing those four corners as you're moving and as you're going up and down. So it's kind of like all movements at once. It's a kind of a great feeling when you get on that, on all those rhythms. You can see it in Bax's body. There's a smoothness to it.
Okay, so I mentioned if you couldn't just sort of float the hoop down, or what we call chi the hoop down. Now at the waist, at the shoulders, this is much easier to pull off, but there are a couple of tricks you can do at the waist. One is to kind of turn quickly. And maybe this is harder, I don't know, but you can kind of turn with the current quickly and bounce, and the hoop will kind of go into an angle. So I'm in lake, my hoop's as flat as I think I can be right now. It's going to the left, I'm going to jump and turn to the left. I'm kind of dipping that turning shoulder down into the current. And then I'm there. Now there's a rhythm to this, what we call a ritmo, that's different from lake. The rhythm of angles requires more up and down. If the hoop keeps running out of speed on you, you need more up and down. And ways you can get that are with bouncing the legs. What's that? Yeah.
I just wanted to share a couple things about that because I haven't, part of the reason I asked for this is that when I hoop on my own, I often just hoop with my little hoops, and so I don't do a lot of angle hooping. And so I've been learning a lot, delving back into it today. And one of the things that I was feeling today was like the inner knees. Once you are down an earth angle, how you can bring that light and that awareness to your inner knees. And I was thinking a lot about circling the knees as I was coming, because it's kind of like you're leaping from foot to foot, but you're also kind of trying to circularize that as you go up and down, because you're trying to help the hoop just stay circular. So I was really feeling into that, how the movement of the knees was help supporting that.
Okay. Thanks, Ann. Let's get back into... All right, so since we're talking about angles, we actually... Yeah, we'll go ahead and... I changed my mind. I'll go ahead and do some sky angle here. Okay, so I'm on the waist. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about sky angle at the waist. For one, it can be frustrating for people. It can hurt your back if you do it too much. But it is good for the abs. But sky angle is, I'm trying to bring the hoop up. So what helps me is to lean back into the current. I'm leaning back into the current, and that starts to flatten out my stomach some, or put it more horizontal, and then I can bounce the hoop off of my stomach or midsection or wherever the hoop is going around.
And this is a serious workout.
Now, to keep it in front of me, what helps me is to take so if the hoop's going to my left, to take my right shoulder, or opposite if you're going the other current, and dig it back into the current some, to drop it back here. What can happen when people learn sky is the shoulder, the body part that they're favoring is working too hard, like my right side's my dominant side, and it can push this, and it creates this kind of wonky hoop. So to drop that back, to bring it back this way. Now Ann is using a lot of bounce to keep the hoop up. And then just to finish this section, and then we'll move into shoulder angles and call it a day. Okay, cool. We're doing good on time. If I start to fatigue, but I want to stay in the sort of workout of this, I can start to barrel roll from one to the other. And I can just do a half turn. And sometimes thinking about your 12s can help you. So right now, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I am in sky angle at the waist. Here is my 12. This is my 6. This is my 6. Here's my 12. I'm popping the hoop, or I'm using the two sides of my body to push it up into noon. I'm going to turn the direction that the hoop is traveling, bring my right, or for me, my right foot, but bring this far foot across and then bounce. And then when I want to go back into sky, if you know your sides of the body, the PM side, if I'm going to the left, my left foot is going to come on the other side. I'm going to bring it all the way across that foot and then twist. Boom. So to earth, my foot is going forward. Boom. To sky, that foot is coming back. If you're getting tired, don't worry. We're going to move to the shoulders, which will be tiring, but then we'll have a nice long free hoop, I guess. One thing that can help you is to think about that push of pushing down and pushing up. And they don't always have to be equal, right? You can kind of rock just pushing down. I can rock just pushing up. I don't know if you can tell a difference in how it looks. This is me pushing down, like focusing mostly on downward push. This is me focusing mostly on upward push. Okay. All right, so I'm going to move kind of quickly into this next one. All right. Yeah,
I wanted to just add one thing about the turn, which what I was also just feeling is that as you're going through the turn, like kind of lifting the leg, maybe even a little more than you're thinking, because I was finding that when I was really lifting my knees into that turn, it really helped kind of send the hoop all the way around.
All right. Good advice. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about angles up at the shoulders. This is definitely, if you can't shoulder hoop, this is going to be tricky. But you can, before you can even shoulder hoop, you can kind of begin to teach your body certain sort of key things here. Now, one way to feel the rhythm, now this isn't for everybody, you don't have to do this, we're not going to do a whole song of it or anything like that, but what helps with at the shoulders is using your legs to create bounce. And when you neck hoop, you actually can really just sort of feel just how important that bounce is, because you don't have, you can't articulate each side of the neck so much. So this is what it would look like. I'm going to turn my mic off because sometimes it's bad for the headphone wearers among us, but one sec. Now, I want to show you, since we have different levels here, most people can probably do that after not that long. If it turns on you, don't worry about that right now. You can just turn with it. But next, I want to show you, like, just, and Anne's kind of doing it already, but just kind of how, you can go slower. This bounce is so powerful that you can go a lot slower than you might think. I mean, my hoop is just on the edge of barely being up, and this is not hard to do. But what I think this demonstrates, without doing a whole exercise, is just how much power you have coming up through the two trees, feeding right into the brain. Now, if I want to go to the shoulders from there, there's a move that you can do where you bring your shoulder up to one of your ears. It comes up, and instead of the hoop traveling onto the front of your neck, it travels onto your shoulder. So then it's there, and you drop your shoulder, and you're in shoulder hooping. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm here, and I'm going to the left. I'm going to use my left shoulder. You might be different. You might find it easier with the other, but I'm going to use my left, and then I'm here, and now I'm in shoulder hooping. And I'm just bringing my shoulder up to the bottom part of my ear, like trying to touch my earlobe, basically. Now, this is just one way to do it, right? There's 1,000 million ways you could do this. And then for those of you that have learned shoulders, oh, sweet, mantra, good. For those of you that have learned shoulders, you can try different articulations with the shoulders once you get there. But the thing to remember is that you need that up and down. All right. So when you drop onto the shoulders, don't lose that bounce. There's a reason that I introduced that. Because if I'm here and I'm pulling this bounce off, it's on my neck, and I come get it, if I keep the bounce, if I don't panic and just sort of make a seamless transition, then I can, pretty well flow. This is me just going from, I don't know if you can see it or not, this is just me going from shoulder to neck to shoulder to neck. I'll put some music on and give you guys a chance to try that. And I won't talk so much right now. I'll give you a couple of minutes without me and again, you might want to try different shoulders. Maybe you get your AM shoulder gets it easier than your PM, whatever. Just try, different ones, and it's going to roll on. It's a super quick thing. It's just like, and it drops. Oop. Sorry, headphone people. Okay, just to add a little bit to this, your arms what your hands are doing are even more important when the hoop is at the shoulders. In fact, they can be a huge difference in having the kind of control where you can go around anywhere you want to, move any way you want to, or not. So when I'm up here on the shoulders, I want to break out of T-Rex, and if that's what I'm doing, I can still go to mountain, but basically the mountain is going to shift a little bit forward. This is where mountain would normally be for us. We're going to shift it forward, and our arms are going to help keep the hoop in front of us. So when I'm here, get this to work. So when I'm here, I can, as I'm doing my, let's see. I'll just do it the way we've been doing it. I'm on my neck, I bring it to my shoulders, and then I'm going to bring my arms out here. They're not going to be back here. I mean, this is a learning rhythm. This is what we're talking about. This is like a super simple step to get you there. Of course, you can't put your hands anywhere, but I'm coming forward, my elbows are out here, and this is helping me keep it from rolling, the hoop wanting to roll around me. My left arm, or whatever arm that your hoop is going towards, that arm can act as kind of a guardrail or a side rail to help keep the hoop in front of you. And I don't know if this will be so easy to see, but you have so much control with this motion, with your arms, using them, that you can literally, like if I bring my right arm forward and my left arm back, do you see how I'm kind of turning the hoop? And I can do the same thing the other way. I'm keeping my bounce, but I'm just pulling my right arm back, pushing my left arm forward. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's doable. Oh, this is nice. Okay, so we're almost out of time. You guys are probably got it with the big hoop. Sweet. All right, so we're going to finish with Sky Angle, and then we'll have a free hoop of maybe some more chill type songs instead of this really upbeat stuff. So we're going to use the roll to get us into Sky Angle here. And so once you establish Earth Angle at the shoulders, we're going to do that same roll. You can take Ann's advice and take this giant high step back or forward, whatever, but you're going to roll around. Now the thing is, it is much harder when you're bent back like this to get the up and down push. So I suggest you bring your arms up, and you use your arms as kind of paddles. And so it's going to be bouncing off of up here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So, okay, so just to keep everything connected, let's see, let's start here. All right, so I am spinning the hoop on my neck. I bring it down to my shoulders, and then I turn, and as I turn, my elbows come up. I can make that same turn again. It's almost easier at the shoulders. And so what this turn does is it brings momentum to your effort. So I come up here, I've got momentum just long enough to get my arms.
And I just want to point out that Bax is still bouncing the whole time from the knees, from the ankles, from the feet.
Yeah, my heels are coming off the ground. That's good.
Right, along with, it's not just the paddles. So it's, how they work together. It's, the smooth. What brings the smooth.
All right, let's put some music on and play with this. I'll be yelling some pointers out, but...
As I let my mind walk in on mass suppressed thoughts, traditional medicinal sentences,
Hey, Rita.
fresh quotes and
Welcome.
facts brought to back.
Thanks for
Back against
popping
the
by.
cash talk, blast off when my 10 toes touch the asphalt. Fast walk through the forest, flash floss.
Nice, Ann. Now, she's leaning way, way back. She's also got a pretty small hoop, I think, but sweet, Shanna. Okay, I'll show you guys a little bit more. We're not going to expand on this, but just some finer tips and points or whatever. Same with what we were doing at the waist or what we were doing at the shoulder. I can bring if I'm going to the left, I can bring my right side back. If I'm going to the right, I can bring my left side back into the current, and that can help keep it in front of me. And that works the same in earth as it does in sky. So I'm here, well, let's see. I'm here in earth. I'm going to turn into sky. I'm going to engage my arms. And then I'm pushing, I'm going to exaggerate it. I kind of look like I'm back in the 70s, but my push is going up towards the corners of the ceiling in my room, if that makes sense. So where your wall meets the ceiling there, you can kind of push into that corner, and that will create kind of a trapezoid, like Ann. And then when I get tired, I just roll into earth. For me, I've been doing earth for so long that it really just feels, it's low effort for me to, I can kind of rest up and catch my breath in earth shoulder. Yeah, Rita, just send me your email through one of the social medias. I will give you guys loads of advance notice. I won't risk, you guys missing out on it. Okay, so we're going to move into the free hoop, guys. Thank you for joining me. I want to go back to that equanimous because I thought that was pretty good. Do you have anything you want to say before we move into?
Just to say, give yourself grace because it is very exhausting. I mean, I'm quite exhausted, actually. I haven't done this much ankle hooping in a long time, so I'm humbled and reminded that, it takes a while to build this endurance and also to feel the balance. And, blindfolded, we didn't talk about that much today, but, for me, blindfolded ankle hooping was really a game changer.
Okay.
And it's great to see y'all, as always.
Okay, we're going to move into a free hoop now, guys. If you have questions, I know this is a technique class. We don't, all the classes we're trying to make them different but similar. So anyway, I appreciate it. I will see you guys Tuesday. I know that's Valentine's. I understand if you guys can't make it, but we will be having class. Somebody just donated. Thank you guys. And let's just play this out. All right. All right. Oh, I think we may have heard some already. Let's go here. Here we go. Wait, no, we heard that one already. Oops. Okay. Okay, yeah, here we go. All right, thanks, guys. love our hoop sessions too. Thank you.
If you were my shelter.
Sweet Shelly. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Rita.
If you were my shelter. If you were my shelter, I would be safe. And if I know this to be true, it makes no sense that I just keep running away. If you were my shelter, I would be warm. Falling into place, and your embrace would feel like coming home. Coming home. Coming If you were my shelter. If you were my shelter. You are my home. If you are my home. If you were my shelter. If you were my home. If you were my shelter. Coming home.
Okay, my friends. Thank you very much. Ann, do you have any last words? You good?
So much fun. Thank you so much, Bax. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming and flowing.
Sweet.
Let's do it again.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Y'all have a great night. Day. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Jackie, Carla, everyone that joined in today. It means a lot. And for those of you watching on the replay, I do read your comments. Lauren, I saw your post in the community. I'll address that. I'm not exactly sure, but I think we can do that.